There are some shocking things happening in our industry at the moment. We officially have some announcements coming in the next couple of weeks from certain parks here in America. And are we actually about to see GCI debut their first full-circuit Titan Track roller coaster? This is Theme Park Predictions and more, and boy, isn't this exciting, because we actually have a ton of hype for some new major projects all across the world. To start off with the updates and my thoughts on the projects, let's head to Hershey Park. Now we know they already announced that Wildcat is officially closing at the end of July, which is definitely not a bad thing considering the shape that ride's currently in. And what we know now is that this project is 100% confirmed going to be an RMC hybrid coaster. In a recent interview, GCI stated that they were outbid for the project on converting Wildcat into a hybrid coaster. And we all know there's only one company at the moment that has built a true hybrid coaster, at least of this generation. And that, of course, is Rocky Mountain Construction. Now, just how big of a ride will this be? That's yet to be determined. But my friends at Escape Designs created a great mock layout that you definitely want to check out after you finish this video. As for the most anticipated mock rides coaster coming in 2023, we head to Europa Park, which is planning on opening a massive new mock rides Big Dipper roller coaster that's going to feature a ton of different elements, judging by this document shown here. And you might be wondering, what exactly is a mock rides Big Dipper? Well, it's kind of Mock's take on a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster or a Gerstlauer Eurofighter. And judging by what we already know about this project, I think it's safe to say that this will become the best roller coaster at Europa Park once it opens. Next up is Dollywood, and the great news is we are about to find out what this major project's gonna be, in which the park states is their single largest investment in the history of Dollywood. We already have the blueprints for this type of roller coaster, so we know the layout as well as where the coaster is going to be placed at within the park. And as soon as the blueprints were released, I instantly made a video stating that this could either be a Vekoma, Intamin, or a Mock Rides multi-launch coaster. And as the project progressed and the days moved forward, I was thinking that this project was most likely going to come from Mock Rides when all said and done. But a lot has changed since my last prediction video about this, and now I'm hearing that this project is indeed a Vekoma coaster. And chances are, it's probably going to be a motorbike coaster from Vekoma. And since it's located in the Wildwood Grove area of the park, it's probably going to cater more towards families, which is definitely okay, because this roller coaster could become the longest roller coaster at Dollywood. The park has already set up teasers around the construction walls with a giant bear, so something about a bear is going to tie into this awesome looking new coaster. Now here's a little wild card for you. Instead of a Vekoma motorbike coaster, could this be a new Vekoma flying coaster? That is just a thought that I had. I'm not saying that's what it's going to be, but all we know now is that this project's most likely coming from Vekoma, and I really don't think Vekoma motorbikes cost that much money. So how could this project cost more than Lightning Rod? And there's another very impressive multi-launch coaster opening up in Spain, and this Intamin looks phenomenal. Parque Warner Madrid has not opened a major coaster in over 20 years, so this project is definitely past due. And I'm hearing that it's going to include a world's first inversion or element at some point of the ride. Now just imagine the hype of this coaster if it was actually going to get built here in America. But instead, no one's really talking about it because it's located in Spain. So let's change that by talking about this coaster more, because it definitely has top 10 potential. Down at Silver Dollar City, it's rumored that they're going to be building a new Fire in the Hole attraction that's going to be built by RMC and is going to be a powered coaster. The building is already being erected, which means I'm sure track is already being fabricated. And I think this project will be opening in 2023. Cotaland down in Texas is already debuting a brand new Gerstlauer coaster later this year, and then coming in 2023 is going to be the first Vekoma tilt coaster to ever open in America. And while I really have no updates on that project, other than I believe it's already being manufactured, this thing is going to be legit. And traveling across the pond to the UK, where B&M is actually being pretty creative here because they're about to open their first shuttle coaster at Chessington World of Adventures. This new roller coaster will be a B&M wing coaster that's going to feature a launch, a zero-G roll, a very twisted upwards helix, and a few other unique elements to this one-of-a-kind attraction. Meanwhile, SeaWorld Orlando continues to work on their landscape project, which we know pretty much everything about this coaster except the name. And yes, sadly, this is a new B&M stand-up coaster coming to SeaWorld Orlando. Talk about a very bizarre move for not only B&M, but for SeaWorld Orlando. And a huge shout out goes to Sketchy Attractions on social media, because they are one of the best at illustrating plans and sketches of future attractions and past attractions. So be sure to go check them out on social media. This roller coaster will not feature a traditional lift hill. Instead, the ride starts off with a launch. Now, the only difference with this ride is that the train is going to offer 2 abreast seating opposed to 4 like the other B&M stand-ups built years ago. But it makes you really wonder, why this? Why not a B&M wing coaster, which would have been Florida's first? Don't judge me on this, but I am not very excited about this attraction, and I think this move is very puzzling for SeaWorld Orlando and the SeaWorld parks. Heading out west to Arizona, where a new indoor theme park is going to be opening, which will debut a new Chance Hyper GTX roller coaster. But this will not be a clone of Lightning Run at Kentucky Kingdom. Instead, it's going to feature airtime, a few inversions, and some quick transitions. The ride itself will be located outside the building from the rest of the park. So don't sleep on this project, because this coaster is definitely going to be interesting to follow. And lately, the SeaWorld parks love working with Intamin, which is great for all of us. And we're about to see a new Intamin multi-launch coaster open up at SeaWorld San Diego in 2023. This attraction is going to replace, I believe, the Wild Arctic attraction, which is not a bad thing, and feature 3 launches, a ton of low-to-the-ground quick transitions, and this ride will basically be a larger version of Wavebreaker, the rescue coaster that opened up at SeaWorld San Antonio in 2017. So kudos for SeaWorld San Diego opening yet another roller coaster. Heading back to Spain for PortAventura, which it looks like they're going to be building some kind of indoor roller coaster that's probably going to be heavily themed, because this park is one of the best theme parks in the entire world. While we don't know much about this project so far, the photos that are floating around the internet of this building make it appear that this attraction is going to be quite large. And 2 more Intamin projects coming to the SeaWorld parks in 2023. And the first one is going to be a new Intamin log flume style of attraction coming to SeaWorld San Antonio. This new log flume is going to feature some great theming, 2 drops, and an airtime hill. Which leads us to the debate, will this be a coaster or just a log ride? Either way, this attraction is going to replace the former log flume that used to operate at the park years ago. So I'm really excited about the future of this project, and most importantly, SeaWorld San Antonio, since this park offers so much land for future expansion. And thanks to BGW fans, we have known that Busch Gardens Williamsburg is planning on adding a new Intamin family multi-launch coaster inside of the old Curse of the Dark Castle building. While this roller coaster will not be that large, it will be unique because the train is actually going to go around the circuit 2 different times. Mixed in with some theming, some lighting, and being totally enclosed will make this ride a must-ride come 2023 at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Now, my only complaint about this attraction is going to be the capacity, so I really hope that the park has a great system in place to keep the lines moving. And now, it's time to talk about the most intriguing project of them all, and that is Tuitus at Park Asterix. This Intamin LSM coaster looks phenomenal, and in my opinion, judging by the layout and the construction photos, has top 10 written all over it. While the park has not officially announced this roller coaster, it will feature a height of 167 feet tall, 66 miles an hour, 3 inversions, and 3,526 feet of track. But the most intriguing stat about this coaster, according to RCDB, is that this ride will feature 23 different airtime points. Sign me up, because I'm definitely going to be riding this coaster very soon. And over at America's Rock and Roller Coast, they continue to work on the Grand Pavilion, which is going to be a beautiful 2-story restaurant overlooking Lake Erie. But in Cedar Point fashion, they're really teasing a lot about this if it's just only going to be the restaurant, which I do think there's going to be a lot more to this project. It's either going to be a new ride or two, or a new medium-sized roller coaster. The park recently set up a staging area just outside of their Express Hotel, located just off the peninsula. And why that is important is that area has been used in the past for track storage for a new major coaster. And at the moment, I am hearing that this project is going to be a mock spinning coaster of some kind. So of course, take that for what you will, but I do think there's a very good chance that we will see a new roller coaster opening up at Cedar Point in 2023. And speaking of another Cedar Fair park, we have Worlds of Fun, which is set to make an announcement on their new capital on Thursday, August 11th. And what's so intriguing about this is that permits have been filed that this is going to be a new wooden roller coaster structure from GCI. And pair that with Skyline Attractions announcing that they are working with GCI on 2 projects for 2023 that will be a full circuit Titan Track coaster. And when you connect all the dots, that is what I predict and what I really do think is coming to Worlds of Fun. A new ground-up GCI Titan Track roller coaster that's going to feature inversions, airtime hills, and a whole new sensation for a hybrid coaster. Not to mention, but the trains that GCI is going to use for their Titan Track coasters look phenomenal. And who would have thought that Cedar Fair is going to start adding prototype rides to their parks again, which is a very intriguing sign in my opinion. So congratulations to Worlds of Fun and everyone who visits that park, because yes, the time has come that the park is going to open a brand new ground up roller coaster that arguably could become the best one in all of Missouri once it opens. And I just have a funny feeling that GCI is going to really do something with this project to make their Titan Track stand out for other parks in the future to highly consider them over RMC. And lastly, we have the Six Flags parks. And coming in 2023, we have Aquaman Power Wave opening at Six Flags over Texas. Now this roller coaster was supposed to open up way back in 2020, but yet this project is still currently under construction. Come on Six Flags, get it together, because this is just utterly ridiculous. This project should have been open last year at the very latest. And as for the other Six Flags parks, I hate to say it, but there's really nothing else going on at the moment, and that's kind of eerie and creepy because this is Six Flags we're talking about, and every single year they always add new coasters to the parks. But so far, we have seen no land clearing, no teasing, and no signs of any major capital coming to the parks in 2023. So could Aquaman become the only new roller coaster that the entire chain is going to debut in 2023? Things are starting to look that way, which is definitely not a good sign for the Six Flags parks. So there you have it, some major updates for the biggest projects happening in our industry that will open in 2023. And if I missed one, please let me know in the comments on your thoughts on that project. And I want to know, which one of these projects are you looking forward to most? Please let me know in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and keep riding coasters.